Join our $500 giveaway using the description down below, guys, where one grand prize winner will win $500 in cash right to their PayPal, and 3 other second place winners will receive a code for the Monstercat BattlePass. The more ways you enter, the better chances you have to win. This giveaway is because of you guys for helping download Summoner's War Lost Centuria. We didn't quite reach all the way to our goals, but we got pretty close, so I wanted to make sure there was a giveaway anyway, and we're going to look to do more cash giveaways, more prize giveaways in the future as we have more abilities to do it with other sponsored content. So once again, check it out in the panels down below. Hello everybody, and welcome to your Thanatos jungle guide. So Thanatos, you actually can get away with some a little bit more funky starter items. I'm gonna go Eye of the Jungle because I still do believe the Eye of the Jungle is generically the best for him, but you can get away with doing some more fun strategies because he's got the built-in sustain in his kit. The idea of going like a Bluestone Pendant early game damage Thanatos in the jungle is not entirely out of bounds, but I much prefer just the regular Eye of the Jungle. But you can have some kind of fun strategies with some of the other starter items with Thana, but Eye should be the one that you're getting most often. Obviously, we're going to grab a couple of health pots with Thana, our Hand of the Gods, because we're going to be burning through our HP pool, and we're going to be starting off with that Scythe. So we're going to save our Hog to use on the second camp. The reason why we use the Hog on the second camp generally and not the first one is because we want to be able to go for the early gank. And if we use our ability on the second camp, you can see if I use my ability right now, it'd be on cooldown for the next 13 seconds. Well, that doesn't help me out at all coming up right here into the mid lane. But now all of my abilities are up too far back to actually gank, but I can just come up and clear these harpies. Now, if you're playing a god that has a lower cooldown ability, maybe you're playing something that's got like a 7-second cooldown ability, then you can go ahead and use your ability on both camps, and you can actually hog the speed up, and it'll generally be a little faster that way, but not with our pal Thanatos. So Thanatos is all about the early aggression. He loves fighting early, and for all intents and purposes, Thanatos just comes down to one really easy thing, which is hit Scythe, win game, miss Scythe, lose game. It's really not that much more complicated. If you can consistently be hitting your Thanatos Scythe, chances are you're going to be in a really good spot. If you're not consistently hitting them, chances are you're not going to be in a very good spot. In general, I would say you're probably looking for like a 75% Thanatos Scythe hit ratio. If you're getting about 3 out of every 4, you're probably in a pretty good spot. I'm going to wait right here for this Cabrakan to come on over. I know he's back here in the jungle. Looks like he just did that one camp and kind of stopped. Kind of some weird pathing from him, so now I got to be a little bit careful. Kind of an awkward situation to be in right now, but I'm going to go ahead and use my Scythe right there. It's going to give me a real nice heal. Plus, I'm going to get the kill. And this is why we go stupidly aggressive on Thanatos, because we are allowed to do stupid plays like that. So I'm going to blink in towards this Janus. I'm going to hit him with a little combo. Not quite going to be able to finish him, unfortunately. So I'm going to probably have to just back out of this one. Ooh. That bleed actually might just be enough to kill him. So with Thanatos, you see I hit my Scythe. Not only does it do a huge chunk of damage, but it also does a huge chunk of heal. So if you're not comfortable landing Thanatos Scythe from super far away, there is nothing wrong with just waiting and using it more point blank, so your odds of hitting it go up. You don't have to yeet the thing from downtown and go for the Hail Mary pass. You can just use it point blank, and it is a very, very good ability. I was standing basically right on top of the Cabrakan. He was doing his 3. I couldn't possibly miss. I'm going to follow up right there with the Scythe on the stun. Don't have to worry about hitting my Scythe because the character is stunned. So I'm just going to use it right away. Whatever way that you can help guarantee your Scythe, the better, because if you miss it, you're probably just dead. As far as our ability leveling order on Thanatos, There's actually 2 different ability leveling orders on Thanatos, and it's going to depend on the type of composition that you're against. So it's either going to be 4, 1, 2, 3 is the most common, and then there's 4, 1, 3, 2. In general, if you don't know which one to do, I would go 4, 1, 2, 3, rank up that 2 before your 3 to max. And the reason why you do that is because this is going to give you pen. So if you're going against a tankier composition, which this team is, in general, I recommend getting the 2 ranked up first. Not only is that flat pen going to help you a bunch against squishies all the time, it's also going to help you against the tankier characters, especially if you start to put off penetration until later stages of the game. So it'll help you out a lot getting that flat pen. The movement speed aspect of it is cool, but honestly, the bonus movement speed isn't that important because you're already going to be so much faster than so many other characters. So you're mostly just doing it for that flat pen, which is very, very nice for you. In general, on Thanatos, our build is going to be cooldown and power heavy. So we are going to be taking ourselves right into a Jotun's Wrath. If you need the anti-heal, you can make this first item a Brawler's. But if you don't have the cooldown started, you will start to feel that in the mid game. You would like to have a little bit of CDR online at least before that like 10-minute marker. So you can get those slices out and out and out. A big reason why we like the cooldown on Thanatos is a lot of people I don't think realize. I'm going to actually go for a quick gank right here on this tier. I'm going to keep my ultimate up just in case he goes into threshold. He is in threshold. I actually don't even think I really need to do too much right here. I don't really want to steal this kill, but it doesn't look like he's going to be able to get in range now. Tier kind of gets body blocked right there. Now I'm just going to go for the ulti really quick. Ooh, it actually takes him out of threshold. It's not going to matter because I'm just going to land on him beside him. But you do have to be careful about people coming out of threshold. So what people don't realize about Thanatos a lot of the time is he actually has built-in cooldowns in his kit. So Thanatos, when he gets a kill, basically gets this cooldown reduction of 5 seconds. 5 seconds right here. So if you build CDR into your abilities and you have that -5 seconds on them when people are out there dying, that means that your scythe is basically gonna have no cooldown. So that's a huge part of the reason why we build CDR on Thanatos, because if we can get like 40, 30, 40% CDR, and then we get a -5 second flat reduction, we just go from kill to abilities, to kill to abilities, to kill to abilities, and that's why Thanatos is so good at getting things like triple kills, quadra kills, pentakills. That's a dead go, man. Sorry, bud. When your ultimate is down on Thana, you gotta play a little bit more defensive.
No worries.
Your ultimate is not only a great initiation tool, it's also your getaway ability. So you just gotta be a little bit careful if that ultimate's on cooldown. I'm kind of just waiting for it to come back up. Then I'm gonna go in towards this red buff. I'm actually gonna make my main target here Janice. I'm just gonna blink right in on him. I'm not gonna hit my scythe, so I'm in trouble. So I'm just gonna immediately ulti here to try and get myself probably outside of this one. He's gonna secure the red, but he's also gonna be in a lot of trouble after that one. If I would have hit that scythe on Janice, honestly, he probably dies. I'm probably fine. I think that was our first like real scythe miss of the game. So you can see how impactful it is immediately upon missing the scythe. Things went wrong instantly. Instantly. All right, gonna back it up, go get myself that Jotun's Wrath. Gooby should be up in time to be able and pick up that red buff. So what are our standard combos here on Thanatos? Pretty straightforward for the most part. You want to have your 2 pressed right as you're about to enter combat. So whether you're about to ultimate and chase somebody down, or whether you're about to blink in and 1, you want to make sure that 2 is pressed because it is going to give you that pen. So right off the bat, you're going to be doing that bonus damage.
Okay.
Then you're either going to be ulting in because you're initiating with your ultimate.
Enemy missing.
And you're landing on somebody low HP. A lot of the times you're going to do this In the team fights later on, you're going to be starting off by waiting for your team to get somebody low, ulti in, immediately put somebody down, or you're blinking in which case you've probably pressed your 2. You blink in, and then you just immediately go for the auto attack scythe. And then if they're still alive, you can follow up with your silence to try to finish the kill. But a little Thanatos scythe with an auto attack is gonna be most of the squishy's health for most stages of the game. So I'm looking right towards it. Yeah, that's gotta be careful. Heading over towards the Ares. He is in threshold, so I'm gonna ulti for this. They might be able to finish it without me. Nope. I am gonna be able to get in there in time. We make sure to level up our ultimate because our ultimate is going to increase the threshold range. Our ultimate is going to increase the threshold range at which we can actually instant kill and execute the enemy team. Pop my 2 right here because I want to go in on the Yanis. He is pretty far back, but I'm going to go ahead. Try to hit him with the scythe. Not going to quite get the scythe. Good little uke right there to the right. So now I'm going to go ahead and back it up again. Looks like that was a Yanis ulti down in mid lane. So I actually might be able to come back in on this. I'm going to go for the silence first. Hopefully he can't portal against the wall. Hit him with the scythe. And look at that. You go ahead and hit the scythe. They're going to go ahead and die. That's all there is to it. For our third item, we're going to be grabbing ourselves a Hydra's Lament. I highly recommend getting Hydras every game on Thanatos. It just embraces his natural burst combo. So if you land from your ultimate and you've got your Hydras, right? You land from the ulti, you go auto, 1 auto. So ulti, auto, 1 auto. That combo will absolutely slay anybody. I mean, unless we're talking like super, ultra, late game tanks, that combo is just gonna legit kill people. Also, you do have quite a few seconds in your ultimate, so you do not have to go for the fastest possible ulti. Thanatos ult, another very important ability where if you miss it, it is super awkward and you're probably gonna die because of it. So you can feel free to take your time in that Thanatos ult, but do be aware, certain characters, if you give them too much time, will find ways to get out of that HP threshold. So like a tier, in general, you're probably gonna wanna land on tier faster than later because you're just giving him an opportunity to get back into his guard stance and utilize his heal. And then he's gonna be back out of the threshold again. Compared to somebody like a Kabrakan, I might be better off waiting for his 1 to run out, so he's got less movement speed, so I've got a better chance to hit it, so I don't have to worry about, you know, Kabrakan healing himself. As far as compositions that we like to go against on Thanatos, we're basically an early game snowballer, so for our composition, we would probably like our team to be a little bit more late game focus. That way we can carry them through the late game and then they will carry us through the end game. Now Thanatos is not a bad late game character, but you know, he's not gonna be the same level of good as like a Mercury or something. Yeet! Tis Maximus absolutely launched. I totally forgot what I was saying. That was awesome. I absolutely catapulted into the sky and back out. So you're going to be going for the very early game pressure, which means you're going to want a little bit of a later game focused team. Thanatos doesn't really need anybody in particular. He doesn't super need a support to help him out. He doesn't really need a lot of frontline characters. So you can kind of pick him whenever on your own team's composition. He kind of fits in wherever. As far as the enemy team goes, Thanatos hates going against healing. He hates it. He doesn't want to go against Guan Yu and Hell and all those characters because all they are giant easy ways for people to go ahead and get out of your threshold.
I'm returning to base.
Heals are kind of a nightmare, right? So if you're going against a bunch of healing, it means you have to be really, really, really careful with how you use your ultimate because chances are people are going to heal up and get out of that execute range. So that's the number one thing that Thanatos doesn't like going against. As far as those 1v1 fights, Thanatos basically wins all of them as long as you hit the scythe, even against the other premier early game 1v1ers, even like Gilgamesh and Arachne and stuff like that. Like the characters that are like level 1 and level 2, you're like, I really don't want to have to fight this character. As long as you land your scythe, you're gonna be fine. Now, some characters like Arachne, Nua, etc., can summon those minions. Those minions can really goof you. Because your scythe is so important,
Enemy missing.
if your scythe is getting body blocked by minions, it can be very annoying for you. So I would also just keep in mind those types of characters that are gonna summon a lot of minions, whether it's Tiamat or even Hera or whatever. Lots of minions can get in the way of your scythe. Not hitting a scythe on an enemy god means not getting the first kill. Not getting the first kill means you don't get all of your abilities back up right from your passive. It just becomes this giant snowball of not good. Speaking of giant snowball of not good, getting walked out by a tier right now. Gotta see if I can't head into my left-hand side jungle without getting bullied too much once I head over here. They want to bully a little bit for heading over here for sure. So for my fourth item, I'm going to get a Erendite. Erendite is going to cap out our CDR, but it's also just a really fun item on like Thanatos and Pele in particular. I really like it on. That extra movement speed from Erendite for chasing down people, combined with the fact that Thanatos already gets his super speed racer feet on when chasing people down because of his passive, combined with your ultimate, ooh baby,
under attack.
you can instill the absolute fear in the enemy team, knowing that you can catch up to them from basically halfway across the map. So it's going to give you also a little bit of extra damage, which is fantastic on your little combo. So when you go for the ultimate, and then you go for the little landing, and you do the auto attack and the scythe and the auto attack, even if you whiff your ultimate, it's still going to end up being okay, because we do get that bonus damage right off of this Erendite. So when you land, your first strike is going to do that bonus damage. So it's that ulti auto one auto. You're getting Hydras, you're getting Erendites, you're getting all sorts of beautiful stuff. Now at this point in the game, this is when you want to start really thinking about that penetration. We've got a lot of flat pen, right? Because we've got the Jotun's Wrath, plus we've got our 2. Keep in mind that when you press your 2, this does qualify as flat penetration. So if you watch right now, I've got 10 flat pen right there, and if I press my 2, now I've got 45, which means if you have 15 flat pen, you are capped on flat pen with Thanatos while your 2 is active. So if you've built like Crusher and Jotuns and Brawlers, you're basically not going to be utilizing any of that flat pen when your 2 is active. So we tend to embrace a little bit more percent pen on Thanatos in the late game compared to more flat pen. We're going to be one-shotting those squishies already because we're already basically capped on our penetration. So we want a little bit more percent pen to help out with some of those tankier boys. Now I do have to be careful here. They might have that warded. It looks like they don't, because we have a sentry one on, but they knew we were coming anyway. Gonna be looking for the Yanis in the back line. Gonna land on him, hit him with a little auto, a little scythe. Woo! Not gonna quite be able to get the kill, because what a good little bit of tier peel right there, coming in hot. We do get the Aegis off of a Yanis though, and his bees, and we get the tier blink. We get the gold berry. But at what cost? Good Chiron ulti. If he comes out of that and uses his 2, he kills the Yanis. Oh, he must not have had his 2 up yet. That is unfortunate. All right, so now I'm gonna start working myself into a Heartseeker. Heartseeker is gonna give me some of that percent pen, and it just embraces this full damage, full commit, instantly killing the squishies playstyle that I really think Thanatos does extremely well. Some other items that you can get a Mantle of Discord always on Assassins, particularly as you're approaching those last items, even if you want to get it after you sell boots or something. Nothing wrong with that. A Blood Forge is a super snowball item on Thanatos. The only problem with that is at this point you need the percent pen. So I'd be careful about getting the Blood Forge too willy-nilly. You could get a Blood Forge instead of like an Erendite or something if you did feel like you wanted even more like post kill potential. Maybe you're getting 1 kill in every single fight and then they're collapsing on you, so you just want the bonus after that first kill. Cool beans. Blood Forge is in a good spot for you.
Enemy missing.
Got to get a sentry ward down at the Fire Giant. You should probably have the Fire Giant like permanently warded. Lol, at that Kabrakan wall. Tier's coming for me, so I got to go ahead and ulti out of this one because he stand switched, and that was going to be able to put me down because I didn't have my beads up. You should be keeping the Fire Giant permanently warded after the 15-minute marker. If your team does not have a ward on the Fire Giant by the 15-minute marker, you should be yelling at them to get a ward on the Fire Giant. It is super easy to kill the Fire Giant nowadays, especially with, you know, all of these crazy damage gods coming in to the meta right now. And the Fire Giant is just such a pushover. So I see Kabrakan on the map, so I'm gonna pop my 2, and I'm walking in his general direction. He's not actually my target, but I wanted to walk in his general direction until somebody else got lower. I grabbed that kill right there. I'm gonna go right over that Yanis 2. A character goes down, which means I get my full abilities back up. Now I can go for this area. It's gonna slow him down my little sight. Put him right into that threshold, and I probably don't need to ulti for him. And now I should be able to go ahead and steal some of their farming right. So that is the exact situation and why we like big cooldown on Thanatos, because kill after kill after kill just immediately led into all of my abilities back up. If all of your abilities are up in Thanatos, that means that the enemy should be dead over and over and over and over again. Gonna ultimate, just kind of be a little lookout. Look around, make sure there's nobody too close. Then I'm gonna come back down and secure the Fire Giant right there for my team. Just making sure there wasn't like a Kabrakan over the wall waiting to blink in or something cheeky. Now we're gonna back up. We're of course gonna turn our Eye of the Jungle into Protector of the Jungle. Protector of the Jungle gonna stack very well with our build because we've got tons of power. All of our items giving us ridiculous amount of power. If we're in the jungle, we're just gonna get 12% more power scaled off of that. More power is more better. Now we gotta group up, shove down the mid lane. So for Thanatos, outside of those early game fights, right? We're going into the mid-late game right now. We're actually really into the late game right now. Mid game's more like 12 minutes-ish. Our target priorities are going to be whoever is doing the best in the background. So this game, Janus is probably our main target. Chiron would be a lot easier to kill. Janus can get away from us if we're not careful. Ulti himself right through a wall, beads portal, etc. But
your right tower
he's also level 20, 6 and 4. The Chiron's 1 and 3. We're not super worried about the Chiron, so I'm not really gonna focus him at all. Their jungler is a Kabrakan. I don't want to make Kabrakan my first target, even though he is a little bit more damage focused right now. And you need to be careful with your ultimate in the late game. So I'm gonna go for Tier actually, because I see him coming in from my team. I'm just trying to help out right now on my Gooby. Now I'm gonna pop my ultimate. I'm gonna look in towards Tier. I'm gonna go to land on him. Pop my 2 just to give me a little bit of distance right here. Kabrakan is low in the background. Looks like Yanis might come back through right to me. I don't think he knows that I'm here. He does not, so I'm just gonna sit here and wait for him.
Yeah, that sucks.
Unfortunately, he does still have his Aegis up. And so he's gonna be able to get out of that one, and I didn't land my sight as well. Otherwise, he probably would have gone
Enemies
down.
behind us.
We really ought to just group up and go shove the right lane and get ourselves that tier 2 tower down while waiting for the rest of these boys to respawn. Looks like they've gone over towards the Oni Furies. That's fine. We should be able to stay over here and grab this T2 without too many problems. And our team is respawning, which means they should be able to get over towards that Gold Fury. They're gonna have to back up and defend their feet. If they don't back up for this.
Enemy tower.
All right, they've got tier here. So I'm gonna call for gank left lane. If we just start walking over there, I mean, I'm gonna beat the tier over there by a lot, because I'm gonna start ulting from right here. I'm gonna pop my 2 for that little bit of movement speed. Then I'm gonna start ulting over. I'm gonna assume they're gonna start running away, which is gonna bring them right back towards me. Unfortunately, I'm not quite gonna be able to land on the Chiron, but I do get 1 kill. Where there's 1 kill, there's usually more kills for Thanatos, and just like that, we're gonna grab a couple of kills. I'm gonna heal off of some of these harpies. My eye right now needs to be set on this Yanis, who I'm sure is going for our Gooby. I'm kind of waiting until he portals right to me. There it is. We should be able to grab that kill. There we go. And now I probably need to get myself over by the mid lane where our Chiron is, so we can try to grab ourselves a real quick Phoenix. We go ahead and ulti right here. I'm just gonna look for the Chiron immediately. He is backing up so hard, he knows. Just trying to build now a little bit of room for my Chiron so we can come in and grab this Phoenix. Unfortunately, not gonna land the scythe right there, so I'm probably gonna die. But as long as we get the Phoenix, that's a fine trade. There we go. All right, if I would have landed my scythe right there, I probably would have lived as well. Now we're gonna finish up the Heartseeker, got the damage from that, grab our beads, grab our blink, little sentry ward, and then we'll wait on a 6th item. We don't really need the red pot on Thanatos because we've already got 40% CDR with our build. So we can actually just wait on the 1500 gold speed pot and try to get that 6th item, which will probably be something a little bit more defensive this game. I'm not having any problems killing anybody, but like the tier in the areas they got a lot of CC on their team, something like a Magi's Blessing, Mantle of Discord is probably going to be in my future. In my future. All right, time to get ourselves grouped up around that fire giant. We don't really have a great last hit secure. We've got great burst with the Anubis, but the Janus is actually probably better at securing than we are. Although he just used his ultimate already, which is really, really good for us. So now we can go ahead, try to get ourselves into this fight. We do need our hunter over here. At this point, we should be grouped up. Maybe he can grab that Oni wave or something, but
May the divine light
we do need to be grouped up as 5. We have a nice little lead, so we should be able to win our team fight. Just gonna leave those Oni archers there. That's fine. If Janus moves up on this in middle, actually.
I'm returning to base. Need healing.
Your right
I
tower
might be
is
able to
under
look at him.
attack.
I've got a sentry
Your
warded right here.
tower has been destroyed.
Unfortunately, they are basically all right here now. So I gotta kind of skadoodle. We also lost our Gilgamesh because he went ahead and backed up. Those Oni creeps in left will be a bit of an issue now. Luckily, we do have the tier 2 tower up. So if we're gonna stick around here, we need to go for a play needs to be sooner than later. I think Chiron was coming in back here, so I'm going to try to look back for a quick something. There he is. Hit him with the silence. Hit him with a little auto. Gotta probably ulti myself out now. That is fine. That is his Aegis. We are back over on the Fire Giant.
Your left tower.
With a Gooby ult, we should be able to go ahead and burst this thing down, I would imagine, at this point. We grab it. Now we just need to be careful for those Yanis ults and stuff. Chiron is once again coming back in towards this fight. So I want to get myself in on this, but I have to watch out for the Ares. I'm going to blink in, hit him with the scythe. Little auto attack. Now we grab that kill. You can see I kept my eye on the prize that whole time. Didn't get distracted by some of those tanks in front of me. Slow down the Ares right there. Gonna go ahead and pop my bead so I don't get launched into that Janus portal. I'm gonna come around the left-hand side so he can't really get around me. I'm not gonna be able to reach the Janus at this point, so I don't mind just kind of sitting around and and killing the Ares. And we need to get regrouped up and try to go put back down that mid Phoenix. Hopefully, before they get a chance for too many respawns. Got those Hydra's procs that I can use on it as long as I've got these fire creeps in range. One little auto attack should basically do it. There it is. Gonna use my ultimate to get away. Don't want to be around that anymore. That's a Yanis ult down. I'm gonna go ahead and heal off of these back camps. Use my scythe right on that. If they chase this out, we might be able to go ahead and regroup, get people here. Ooh, our Zhong-Kui is actually over on the right-hand side. He's gonna be by himself. He's definitely gonna be caught out and not make it through that one. If he would have actually come with us. Wow, he is still staying alive. This is kind of crazy how long he is staying alive for. How is he even doing this? We probably could have honestly gotten to him and kept that fight going because he just stayed alive for so long. Zhong-Kui, eh? My goodness. We got enough cash. Go ahead, back it up. Get ourselves a little elixir of speed. We can sell our boot. And I'm just going to grab myself a full Mantle of Discord at this point. And of course, a Sentry Ward on our back. And now we should be shoving up in that left lane. Get us over by that Gold Fury. Might as well do the gold really quick while we're waiting for the Zhong-Kui to respawn. And we'll probably have a couple of wave opportunities to shove up into the Phoenix before our Fire Giant does inevitably run out again. At this point, any pick would be a good pick. Ooh, they do have 3 people here. So we gotta be a little bit careful after that, but that Cabragan is kind of getting wrecked, unfortunately. Just a little bit too big for me to get around that wall. Try to keep that Cabragan in combat. Yanis over on this right-hand side. We are gonna get the Yanis ulti down, but
Enemy ultimate down.
I'm gonna ulti over towards him. I'm gonna land on him, auto, 1. Scythe isn't quite gonna be enough. Cab is trying to go back on me pretty hard. We might be able to actually make this fight happen. I've still got my beads up for the area, so I'm not super crazy concerned about that. Gonna get a deep ward over here for us. Got a tier behind me. I am way more concerned about the tier than anything else. I know the Yanis ulti is down. It's a lot of good damage on that tier. But it doesn't look like we're gonna be able to get it. And now our Fire Giant is running out, so we should just go ahead.
Yes.
Back up and get ready for the enhanced fire, which matters a lot. I'm actually gonna grab myself this red buff this time as well. Just a little bit more damage might put me over the edge and grab me these kills, especially on the Yanis. If his Aegis is down 2, he's like double dead. Double dead. Main target still has to be that Janus because he is doing the most damage. And we're actually doing quite a bit of damage as well to this tier. So don't got to be afraid of the tier. If he gets too close to us, we can just try to put him down. I actually probably need to be more afraid of the Cabrakan, because he's starting to get into like Cabrakan one-shot potential, that part of the game. Hopefully there's a Chiron or somebody about to come right here to me. Not gonna be so lucky. We are on the fire giant. They seem pretty distracted by the idea of me right now. Yanis is coming right on through, so I'm actually just gonna go straight for him. Gonna hit him with a little combination. Be able to put him down because he doesn't have Aegis. Now I'm gonna use my ultimate to get myself over towards this Chiron. Grab that kill. It's gonna refresh all my abilities. Pop my 2 for a little bit more flat pen. Throw down the sight to slow him down. Gotta use my 3 to silence Cabrakan right on out of his abilities. And now we should be able to go ahead and put this one away. So you gotta be a little patient on Thanatos. You can see I had my target in mind. The target was Janus. I knew that he was the most problematic. I knew his Aegis was down. So I kind of just sat around waiting for him to do something. He ulties right on through. Now I know his ulti's down. Between my silence and sight, he ain't never gonna make it. Back to that portal again. And then, of course, we just use our ulti for a little bit of movement to get ourselves over close to that Chiron. So build your cooldown on Thanatos. Remember that particularly in the early game, if your ultimate is down, you have to be a little bit safer, because then you're 100% relying on hitting your scythe. And if you go in super aggressive early and you miss your scythe and your ultimate is down, then you're just stuck in enemy territory. But you should be pressing yourself into the enemy territory. Thanatos is a confidence god. You got to be confident that you're going to make the plays, that you're going to be hitting the scythes and the ultimates, and you got to be taking those fights to the enemy team early, because if you're not fighting in the enemy jungle and taking those fights, then why are you playing such a good early game character? You might as well play something later game, guys. And that is our Thanatos jungle. Thank you for supporting the Twitchiest community. If you'd like to see more videos, make sure you subscribe to the channel and always hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss any of the upcoming videos. Thank you for all your support and have a Twitchin' day, y'all.